So Ty said that I could get started without him tonight. And to that I say, name of his sex tape. He's like, damn, that was a good one.
That was pretty good.
He's putting the dog down for the night and such as that. And I guess as you can see, I don't know if it actually got posted or not, just because Ty was going to look and see if the audio was okay.
I didn't post it yet. I keep forgetting to look at it.
But he was at Duke Hospital. He's doing fine, as you can see. This is a super brief update. I get you're not perfect, but you never were.
Okay, Miss Sassy Pants.
There, so that slightly have us both.
I offered to go get the
tripod.
I have a tripod for the camera with a selfie stick on it, but
I honestly,
instead of that, she just wanted to set it up on top of her water bottle or jug.
cup. Yeah. And don't forget that roll of paper towels holding it up.
And the roll of paper towels behind it.
I mean, I'm nothing if not a problem solver. And I am realizing I did not wear glasses until like about a year ago. Maybe it's getting on to be about 2 now. But I still only really need readers, and I'm fighting it. And yet, then there's some tasks like, hey, I'm sitting here playing with a knife. Maybe I should be able to see it a little bit more clearly.
Probably. And I had glasses. These are not them. I know they look like glasses. These are just readers, actually. Because I've got like 8 pairs of readers.
Oh, I do too. I got these red ones to match my hair. And because I forgot to bring glasses the other day when I was coming to see you at Duke, and the Dollar Tree was a lot closer than going all the way back home for glasses.
I can get that.
Usually I have extra pairs in my car, but we shuffled cars, and Gabe had my car, and I had Dora. Ty has an Explorer, and I've recently named it Dora.
I don't name my cars. She names all the vehicles.
So I have a Highlander, and his name is Dunk, short for Duncan McLeod. I get Dunk was the second, but this is because my brother also has a Highlander, so I gave him naming rights on Connor. And that is one more way that you know how nerdy Ty and I were. And the reason I said, hey, let's have our pair right now is because he was just telling me nerdy things about D&D, potentially 6th edition.
Oh yeah, there's already rumors that there's going to be a 6th edition of D&D in the next year or 2. I have a feeling not, but I could be wrong.
I did actually see a D&D ad the other day.
Really?
Yeah, it was for Hasbro's, their online platform.
Oh.
I forget what it's called.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, that. And
a lot of people are not very happy about it.
Yeah. And so they were advertising it with, you know, that show Ted with the
bear?
The bear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a D&D episode. And so it was kind of based around that and like, oh, get online with Ted and see how to create your own characters and blah, blah, blah. Which I just never, I mean, D&D's been around a long time.
It's the 50th. Well, next year will be the 50th anniversary of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
And so for it to have been around 50 years, I've never, ever actually seen an ad for it.
There's actually earlier versions of D&D that were probably 72 or 73, but Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, or AD&D, came out in 77 officially. That's when the first Player's Handbook came out.
Okay. I remember us having the Monster Manual when I was a kid.
It came out first.
I remember us having that as a kid and being kind of reading about all the harpies and stuff like that.
Well, you know, monster manuals are great because they always have a lot of, even if you're not a gamer,
Yeah.
they always have lots of interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, as
Pictures
a little
and stuff,
kid, it was
yeah.
kind of, you know.
And even if you don't know all the game stats and what they mean and stuff like that, there's usually extras you can read about the monsters, like, oh, this one lives in caves and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
likes
like
to eat elves or
a
something.
kid learning about naiads and dyads and
Yeah.
harpies and, you know, the beholder. It was cool. It was, you know.
Kind of surprised that was allowed in your house.
I think we actually had the D&D game. I mean, I was too young to have played it at that point, but I mean,
I know, but your parents were pretty religious folks.
I don't know that they always were, though. I mean,
Well,
I think
I mean-
that's one of those things.
Is that an old person thing?
Well, you said kind of the same thing about your mom. That, I mean, so this
Well,
is
yeah.
at one point she was horrified that Ty wasn't drinking at all. I mean, not like he was over drinking, just. And I said, Waverly, did you never drink? I mean, I'd heard it's where you met your late husband and was in a bar. Oh, yeah, I used to like those margaritas. And yet she was kind of horrified with the idea of you drinking at all. And it's like, where's that?
Don't worry. I'll just call it and make it official. I've had to quit drinking for health purposes. So, not even a drop.
But the idea that he was doing it at all in the first place was kind of horrified his mother. See, this is part of that whole accountability. We're trying to clean up our acts a little bit. Me by eating copious amounts of broccoli and pears. And Ty by quitting drinking.
Well, that's one thing. Oh, and wherever you're watching this, you know, both of you, the last 3 days here has been extremely hot. We're more or less central North Carolina right now. It has been extremely hot in the 90s, like terribly hot, and that's not just a matter of discomfort, because I have heart issues. I'm not supposed to be out in that heat, and I have been, even though I'm not supposed to be, but not for long stretches of time. But it doesn't take long stretches of time. I mean, it just saps my strength, and I become weak as a bad puppy.
I don't have a heart condition, but I've always been that way. I know you used to actually kind of like the getting out in the heat,
Yeah,
and not I.
yeah. Up and just till a few years ago, honestly. Like mowing the yard, the hotter it was, the better. I liked sweating. I felt it made me feel like I was getting something done.
Not I. I'm the exact opposite. I want to work out. This is why I like swimming. I can exercise and not feel that hot, gross, sweaty.
I like swimming to some extent, but not nearly as much as you do.
I know. But that's why, is because I don't like that feeling
By
of
the way,
being
is my
hot and sweaty.
crunching too loud?
I mean, is my eating a pear too loud? Probably the dishwasher
I can't hear you.
is just as loud.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not all that loud. But, and I'm not really hungry. I'm just kind of, I'm not stuffed either. I'm just kind of snacking.
I've been a little slower with my Carl book.
Oh,
I've been
this time?
tired. Yeah, I've been really tired, so I haven't had as much time reading without just falling asleep. but I'm happy with this book so far.
Well, tell them about the series in case you haven't mentioned it before.
So it's Dungeon Crawler Carl, and right now we're on the 8th book. There will eventually be 10, unless they realize we can squeeze it into 11 or 12 and make more money. No, I think they'll be done it.
Well, if the author comes up with ideas. But, sometimes you also get burned out writing that stuff.
Yeah, I think he's doing some different stuff right now too. And for this specific thing, I think 10's a good place to kind of cut it off.
Huh?
I mean, it might be one of those things of like, here's a time jump or whatever in a second half of a series kind of thing, maybe later.
Or what if he ends the series by just killing everybody off?
I mean, it could.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ty has not read it yet, so. But, one of the voices, basically the idea is that Earth is taken over by a bunch of aliens, and most of the population is killed, and what is left is offered the opportunity to live by going into this dungeon where they are given the opportunity to work their way through this with a potential kind of payoff of being allowed to be made a citizen eventually in the world and all that kind of good stuff. But the survival rate is pretty low, and so chances are not good. And Carl is your main character, and he is has gone into the dungeon with his ex-girlfriend's cat, and the cat's name is Princess Donut. And Princess Donut very early on gets like this treat and is made intelligent and able to communicate, all that kind of good stuff. So she's, a character in her own right. And then all of this is televised out to the galaxy, and this is kind of how they are making money. So there was maybe one floor I didn't really care for, the train world, but this is kind of a Mario Kart's level for lack of a better kind of thing. And so I'm enjoying it so far. But the different levels are kind of set up different ways. Like some, it's a medieval village kind of thing. They wander around. One, they were all in bubbles. I mean, it's...
That's what she's reading.
Yeah. You still doing a McBain?
I'm reading an Ed McBain 87th Precinct police procedural at the moment. Somebody's going around murdering blind people. You would think, why? Well, that's sort of the mystery of the novel, and Detective Steve Carella has to figure that out.
So how many blind people are dead here?
3 so far.
Okay. Any hunches?
No, not really.
I will say Ed McBain books are Ty's cotton candy beach reads.
Yeah, they are. Especially his 87th Precinct books.
And he likes to get one of those in after something like Anna Karenina.
Yeah.
Who wants to read Anna Karenina?
After I read some thick, heavy stuff, I turn to Ed McBain for at least a book. Stephen King's probably right up there too.
But Stephen King's aren't usually light.
They are for me. I mean, I don't think a lot
They're
of people...
light in topic, but they're still 700-800 pages.
Some of his books are. Some of them are only 400 or 500. Depends on the book, what it is. Some of them are 1,000 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad for the Dungeon Crawler Carl. I needed a little bit of a palate cleanser myself. I've been reading some in the romantasy category, and I just find they get really predictable.
Most genres usually are, unless, I mean, every now and then you have a breakthrough or a breakout, somebody new that
Yeah.
comes along with something new, or maybe somebody old is rediscovered that people had forgotten about or didn't know about or something.
Yeah.
But usually it's somebody new doing. I mean,
Yeah. No, and I guess that's one of those things of like kind of any genre that, yeah, as people start being interested, and, you know, one writer's like, oh, this one's popular, let me do something similar.
yeah. Or you read something and you're like, even if you're not consciously thinking, I want to do something similar, you start thinking things like, oh, but what if you did this instead of that?
I like that Shadow Daddy character.
Or what
Let's
if it
make
had
10 of them?
Or, yeah, what if it had a different kind of character or something? Or what would I do with this? You know, what direction will I take it? Like that.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the reasons I like McBain's 87th Precinct novels, because there's a bunch of them. I think 57 or 59, something somewhere around in there. And every one of them is different. I mean, they're all police procedurals. They very often have characters you're familiar with. And yes, they're cop novels with mysteries. But every single one of them is entirely different. It's not just the crimes that are different, it's the way the books are written are different. Who the main character is might be different. It's not always a happy ending. I mean, sometimes it is. The cops get the bad guy. Sometimes the bad guy gets away.
Which is
You know.
not your traditional kind of police procedural, you know.
Yeah, usually, most of the time I'd say they probably get the bad guy at the end.
Yeah.
Whether they kill him or put him in prison or whatever. And these 87th Precinct novels are, yeah, they're all different. And it's all different situations. I mean, it's not all even necessarily mystery. You know, it's... and he wrote them from the late 50s to about 15 years ago when he passed away. So, I mean, roughly 50 years of...
Yeah, you said that you could tell too, like, you know, back in the day when roughing them up was kind of standard operating procedure, and
Yeah.
now the books have gotten a little bit more HR friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely... Well, I mean, I don't think it was until maybe the 70s or even 80s that there was a woman detective in the series,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Now, I do think there was a black detective fairly early on,
Yeah.
and maybe a Latino detective, and there's a Jewish detective pretty much right from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, you're in New York. Or,
Well, it's a fictionalized version of New York called Isola, but yeah, it's basically New York City,
yeah.
just with different names.
Yeah. So, I see that now that they're taxing the rich in New York, they're all going to run away, except for they haven't, and New York seems to be doing pretty good.
That's true. And isn't like their deficit already wiped out in like 3 months or something like that?
Yeah.
Wow, imagine that.
I know. I know. I did, we live in a rural area, and
Or,
they were talking about a school bond issue, and I do laugh because there's the same few voices over and over and over again on our online communities and social media and stuff, and they're like, well, how's that going to help the grades any if they build a new building? And it's like, dude, the newest school building in the county was built 26 years ago,
yeah.
and they are having some issues in several of the elementary schools, and so their plan is to close the two middle schools, well, to start construction on a middle school that will actually combine two middle schools, and then take the two existing middle schools and turn them into elementary schools.
Okay.
And that will kind of, help with the growth and everything, and the 3 elementary schools that it would replace are all having some, they're old buildings that are.
Well, I take it this new school is going to be big enough. If they're basically adding an elementary school or maybe 2, depending on how that works out. I mean, I'm going to guess in 5 to 10 years they're expecting an influx of middle school.
I think that it actually will, because the middle schools are bigger. I think this new one would accommodate about 1,500 students.
Wow, that's a pretty big school. Actually.
So yeah, it would be a lot bigger than.
Which county is this?
Person here.
Person's going to have a. Okay.
And then the idea will be that the 2 middle schools will then absorb the kids from 3 elementary schools that are having some, foundational kinds of issues.
And the old high school will become.
The high school's not getting rebuilt right now.
Oh, it's the middle school
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah, you're right.
So.
Okay, because I'm going to say that's a fairly sizable
Yeah.
high school. I don't know if it's 1,500 students big, though. I mean, 1,500 is big for a middle school or a high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it would be the one in the county, basically, unless you go to the charter school. And so it will replace 2 existing middle schools that probably, you're right, don't have 1,500 students between the 2 of them. But the goal is this will be something the county can grow into and allow for growth.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously there's some things that are a little bit different. I mean, making the middle schools, elementary schools, you gotta add a playground and some things like that, so.
Maybe. I don't know if it would be that big of a deal. I mean, it's obviously been a long time since I was in junior high, as we called it back then. We didn't necessarily have a playground, but we had a track and like a football field out back.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
sort
That's
of acted as sort of a playground.
That's currently, but I'm saying if they turn the middle schools into elementary schools, then they would need to add those things to the old middle schools.
Or just stop letting kids have recess.
Ty's like, down with the kids.
No, I'm not.
He's a smart ass that way.
I think they should bring dodgeball back. With the old kind of dodgeballs. No,
They are actually finding that more physical activity is better for children
No.
than, well, I mean, they keep pulling that stuff out of school, and it's one of those, like, I used to work for some group homes and did some behavior consultation and whatnot, and it's kind of funny because, like, you have all these staff and parents and adults in general who are like, come on in, have your snack and get started with your homework right away. And it's like, dude, when was the last time you came home from work and thought, I want to sit down and pay the bills right now?
Yeah.
No, you want some decompression time.
Yeah.
But we don't give our kids the same grace very often.
No.
And it is just that, bam, 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 bam. And
I don't think that's just students. I think that's childhood anymore for a lot of kids.
oh, I know. And I think our kids are, in a lot of ways, it's tough to find a balance because kids do need extracurriculars and some of that stuff that they've taken so much out of the schools that, I mean, it's now instead of just recess that's free play, it is whatever the gym coach is picking for that day.
Yeah.
And recess at least kind of allows
No,
them
kids need
social.
structure, but they also need some freedom to learn things for themselves.
Well,
And I mean, socially, learn how
well,
to interact.
that's what I was going to say is
you know.
is a lot of times like that playgrounds time is some of that negotiating social skills and things like that
Yeah.
aren't quite so structured. And there is also the ability to problem solve and for kids to learn risk. There's calculated risk on a playground.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
not always pretty, but that's kind of a part of learning.
yeah, I mean, even, can I handle climbing this far up on the monkey bars
Yeah.
or whatever?
People are going to get hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
Hopefully not
But
too badly.
you figure out, like, hey, here's how far I can go and without falling, or I
Yeah.
do fall and then I learn not to go,
Well, and not just that one kid, the 10 other kids around who saw it happen.
Yeah.
And then they spread word to 100 more kids. So it's like, hey, don't climb up that high in the jungle, Jim, or whatever, because
Yeah.
you could fall. So, but
There's a lot of that inherent learning that informs kids that their schools are really missing out on. And I know that we are so driven by tests and everything that there's just no time for it, or the school doesn't want to be held accountable for. I will tell you that at one point in our day treatment program, and I wish that this could be replicated in every school, but there would be lawsuits out the wazoo. But because this was a mental health blended academic program, and we did this intentionally over the summer so that it wouldn't, be an educational kind of thing, we did our sex ed over the summer, and we did it over several weeks. And over that period of time, we had somebody come in from the health department, and I mean, it wasn't even like a banana. No, she brought a big dildo and was like, showing the kids the right way to put on a condom to reduce tears and things like that. And she went through the gambit. It wasn't just condoms only. It was, let's talk about all these kinds of birth control and all that kind of good stuff. But in addition to that, we had our therapists come in and talk to the kids about kind of some of the emotional aspects of a healthy sexual relationship and what that might look like and what are some of the expectations and things like that. And we also had actually a minister. We live in the Bible Belt, and I mean, the number of questions I got, and there's actually a really funny who are the girls, Garfunkel and Oates, maybe?
yes, Garfunkel and Oates.
They have a really hysterical song about the virginity loophole. And
Go look it up. We don't need to sing it.
oh no, I'm not going to sing it because I'm not that good of a
Or
singer.
go into detail.
I'll tell you what the loophole was.
okay.
The loophole is that for a whole lot of Christian girls out there, anal sex is the loophole. And then
That's
I
not
can
a
keep my
loophole.
virginity. I get it, and I'm not saying that it's a smart
It's
decision.
not a loophole, it's a poop hole.
Okay, fair enough.
One way only.
But that was truly a question. We had like the little anonymous question bag, and every year multiple kids had that question, like, am I a virgin still if I just do anal? And that was the pressure the guys were putting on too, of like, you can do this, and
Oh,
it's,
good Lord.
and how messed up is that you feel like you need this loophole. And it's like, well, if you feel like you need loopholes, then you're probably not ready for sex. And the other really interesting thing was that all of these teenagers, we actually did an activity where there were different things, and they got to like put them chronologically, like through a relationship of like, okay, kissing, holding hands, oral sex, anal sex, calling somebody your girlfriend or boyfriend, saying I love you, all of these things. And they got to kind of put where they thought everything should go chronologically. And like, oh my gosh, the calling somebody your girlfriend or boyfriend, it was like, what, is he gonna like not like me if I ask him if he can be my boyfriend? And it was like, they're you know, the BJs went first in this teenage mind. And we had some conversations about why is that, and it was actually kind of nice
To make them like them maybe?
yeah, but that's kind of a messed up thing and a kind of a messed up attitude.
Yeah, I'm
That
not
you
saying that.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
but was yes, that a lot of your kids had a very skewed kind of perception of, I mean, it was kind of almost like, we got to do all this stuff and then I can ask him to hold my hand in public.
oh, okay. So
And
it was kind of
then-
like our first date.
Our first date was at a Renaissance festival. Hot stuff. I had him at Trebuchet.
She knew what a trebuchet was, and that's what won me over right there. All these years later. And for those of you who are laughing, and for those of you who are going, what's a trebuchet? Go look it up. Watch a Joan of Arc movie. There's trebuchets in that.
Fair enough.
Though I would like to think most people watching us at least would know what a trebuchet is. But if you don't, you don't. It's
It's similar.
no, don't say a word. Don't. It's not a car. It's like Ford doesn't make the Ford Trebuchet, but that would be kind of funny if
Hey,
it did.
did you see that article I sent you that while many weapons are outlawed throughout the country, our founding fathers did not ever make any regulations around trebuchets
Well, I don't think anybody has.
ever. So
I know what I want in the front yard now.
that's what I was going to say. I sent that thinking, hey,
Well, I
this
mean,
could open up air
the
decorating.
founding fathers didn't make a bunch of laws about a bunch of weapons.
I know.
So
But that was just kind of how the article was framing it.
Okay.
Was that, you know,
trebuchets. So
They're fair game.
you've picked up that a trebuchet is a type of weapon. Go look it up. We need say no more.